Gotta do better, I 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 gotta do better today. Gotta do better before it's too late.
Said I gotta do better, I gotta do better, I gotta pick up the pieces and master the puzzle upon us. Look the man in the mirror in the eye and be honest. Slow down time, get back in line with my chakras. Reach for the galaxy, leave stardust for thus after me. Enter the void, fill in the cavity. Risk the reward if that's how it has to be. I gotta do better, I gotta do better, I gotta do everything in my power to try to do what gotta do. Ride the tide, don't fight with the current that guided you. Melt the ice round the furnace burning inside of you. I gotta do better, I gotta do better, I gotta do better. There's nothing they can do that I can't do better. Better yet, there's nothing I can do that I can't do better. Yeah, I'm better. I said I'm better.
Gotta do better, I 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 gotta do better today. Gotta do better before it's too late.
Shade stuck to my face, hoodie glued to my head. Hiding from the same world that made me who I am. Deep rest, can't even get out of bed. Too blessed to be so stressed. I do all this just to say get off my mixed emotions prohibit my focus. This what you wanted, what's wrong with you? You don't make sense. Feel like I could flip at any moment. Faces playing in with me. Doing drugs was just a war with boredom, but it's sure to get me. Lord forgive me. Amen. Wear the crown of thorns for sport. I'm just waiting for a stone to hit me. Relationship on the rocks, my family all concerned. My homie still on the block, getting it off the curb. I'm stricken by survivor's guilt, I'm getting it off of words. Word. Come on, Herb, you
gotta do better, I 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 gotta do better today. Gotta do better before it's too late.
And I'm born with the wind, and I'm born with the wind. Feel me on your skin, 'cause I'm born with the wind. Born with the wind, born with the wind. Feel me on your skin, I'm born with the wind.
Always haunt my dreams. The green twins with your eyes.
What's up, guys? I promise you that I did not. that was not planned. Yeah, like that's my standard intro music for my Monday motivations when we do Monday motivation. And man, as I'm listening to that song, it just made it that much more like, I don't know, it was just so much more fitting for today's topic. I want to thank all y'all for joining me on the various platforms. I felt compelled this weekend to do this as, I started a little something last week. It was something that I felt that was close to my heart. It's been on my mind for quite some time, and I wanted to do something. And I have the resources, the ability to do something, and so I'm doing it. Anyhow, so over the weekend, I was thinking about so many things going through my mind as I am looking at some of the comments, as I'm evaluating the response, and I just wanted to like make a video for each one and be like, okay, it's this. And then as I started to do that, I'm like, man, I just can't do it. I can't communicate to you all what it is that I want to communicate about this issue for y'all that are not aware. Look at the pledge up in the corner there. You see it's the pledge to support and protect women in women's safety in the technology channel. And I did, for those of you that are not aware, I did a video. I've started a campaign. We blasted that out on LinkedIn. We sent it to all of our community via email and text and everything last week because it's that important to me. So anyway, over the weekend, I'm evaluating the response to this. So many things going through my head, and I couldn't make a video that could explain to y'all where I'm at and what I think. And so I thought, it's time to go live. So here's what's going to happen today. I'm going to tell y'all some of the brutal truths from my perspective. This is my truth. I know that some of y'all will be upset. I know that some of y'all will not agree. That's okay. But I just have to share my truth, open up a dialogue. And I look forward to your comments. I look forward to your questions. We'll get into it. I'm happy to address it, happy to talk about this stuff. So here it goes. Again, welcome everyone on the various platforms. If you want to know what this Monday Motivation is all about, look up in the corner there. I think I'm pointing to the right corner. Boom, boom. Yeah, whatever. The pledge. All right. So again, on Friday, I posted an 8-minute video. For y'all that have not watched it, I encourage you to go to my profile on LinkedIn and you'll see what this is all about. It is a pledge to ally, to advocate, and to protect women in the technology sales channel. So the first question that many of y'all will have is why? Why? What's my motivation for doing this? And when I posted the video in the copy, I said that people are going to fall into one of 3 categories. They're either going to be supportive, they're going to hate, or they're going to be cynical. And that's basically what I saw. Now, the hate, you don't always see the hate. The hate is going to be behind the scenes. The support was obvious. The cynicism was as well. So anyway, back to my motivation. I'm a father first. Aside from all of the things that I do, all the things that I've done, everything that I've accomplished, those that know me know that what I am most proud of is being a good father. And I'm a father of a 20-year-old daughter. A couple of weeks ago, I'm having cocktails with a couple of our wonderful ladies in the channel. And I'm not putting names out there because I don't want to put nobody on blast or put nobody's business out there. But I will say we had cocktails, and as I'm sitting down with one of these wonderful leaders, she told me that her daughter was thinking about joining this business because she'd seen the success that she's had. And so she's like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting into this. And she paused and thought about it. This is her story to me. She's like, I just don't know if I want my daughter to get into this. And it made me think. And I'm like, and I had never thought about this before. I'm like, would I want my daughter to be in this business, knowing what I know and having seen what I've seen? And the answer was no. Dead honest. I wouldn't want my daughter to be a channel manager, be a partner development manager, and have to deal with the things that I've heard and some things that I've seen, that I've experienced, that I've had to step in the middle and restrain some idiot or correct some verbiage or just behavior. And it's it's somewhat of an epidemic in this business, and it's something that people don't necessarily want to talk about. No, not necessarily they don't want to talk about. There are secret rules. I know of carriers, of suppliers, of TSDs that have secret rules. The rules are like, hey, listen, when we're out and about, if you feel uncomfortable or somebody's doing something, tugging your ear, dude, it's bullshit like that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that they're showing that they are willing to support. But why are these rules secret? Why does it have to get to that point? And then why are we protecting these other folks? Secret rules are protecting these people. Why? That makes no sense to me. All right, so I'm a dad. I have a daughter. I have a wife. I have a mother. And I have so many women, friends, colleagues, peers in this business that I love and respect first. That's my motivation. I have nothing to gain in this, guys. I hope y'all understand that. I realize that there are people that don't want to talk about this subject, and there are people that want to blackball maybe someone like me that wants to bring it up. That's okay. I'm with it. I don't care. I'm gonna be all right. So starting, that's my motivation. The second thing is, I want y'all to know the angle that I come at this from, because I think that many people in the space, they look at me for inspiration. They aspire to be me and to achieve the things that I've achieved, and they look at me and put me on this pedestal, and they separate me. But what they don't understand, what they don't think about, is that I am a Black man. And the things that I have had to go through to get to this point, not just in adulthood and childhood, to get to this point. I could write a book as long as the Bible, but this ain't about me. The point that I'm making in this is that I understand what it's like. I understand to be on the outside. I understand how to not only be the victim of circumstances, but to try to defend yourself and then have to try to advocate for yourself. I understand these things on an intimate level. So I also understand when I come to the table with solutions, I understand how the things that I am proposing matter and they are impactful. And can't nobody tell me that they're not, because I know from personal experience. In 2020, I was forced to unpack a lot of my own trauma from my adulthood, from my childhood, and because of the events of the world made me address it. And I chose to be vulnerable and to share with the community, you guys, and the channel community. And many of you stepped up, you put your hand up, you said, yo, Ronell, I support you. Let's talk. I mean, it was one of the most fucking beautiful moments of my life. The people, seemingly strangers that I didn't know, that texted me, that emailed me, that made posts and said, Ronell, I got your back. I support you. Let's talk. Let's go have coffee. I had coffee with more grown-ass, middle-aged white men than I ever have in my life. And I cried more, and not ashamed to say, more than I ever have in my life in some of those meetings. So you cannot tell me that advocacy does not matter. You cannot tell me that public advocacy is not important. I've experienced it. I experienced it for the first time in my life during that time period. And I am forever grateful to you all. So what I am doing, what I am trying to do matters. Will it change the world? No. But I'm a pragmatic guy. I don't seek to change the world. I seek to make impact with individuals because I understand the power of individual impact. When someone may see this play and say, oh, it's not enough. Oh, I disagree. Because there's someone out there that sees this, that sees what I am doing and will follow that lead. They may not be public about it. They may not post about it. They may not comment about it. But they will be there for you when it's unexpected. Maybe when you don't even know. What's more important? Someone saying something to your face or advocating for you in those rooms when decisions are made that you don't know about. Both are important, but the other one's more important. That's what I'm seeking to do. I'm seeking to help in my way to evolve and change this culture one person at a time. I understand the power of individual impact. I understand it intimately because I've seen it. Some of you may have seen a post that I've done in the past, a story that I've shared, the story of my very first job, my very first professional sales job, where that sales manager threw my resume in the trash. Zach, never forget you. I'm not bitter anymore. It's actually a example of triumph and an example of advocacy, of allyship. Because Kathy, who was there, pulled my resume out the trash and sent it to someone else. I went on, crushed it, got that job, and at the very worst performing store in that company, I crushed it, broke records, all that. The rest is history. Here we are 25 years later. So don't tell me that individual advocacy and allyship does not matter. So, a few thoughts on the results of this thus far. Now, I told y'all I'm going to say some things that may upset some of you, may offend some of you. I'm not intending to offend. I'm just sharing my truth. I think that some are not accepting the truth. My friend Randy Reimers coined a phrase or shared a phrase with me that I've always lived my life by, and I didn't know until he actually said this. He said, run to the truth. So for me, in my life, I have always accepted the truth. I learned that at a very young age. I can live in delusion or I can live in reality. If I live in reality, if I understand and I accept even the ugly, horrible truths, I can chart my own success and destiny because I understand the landscape I'm working in. I understand the truth so I can make real impact. I appreciate all the work that these wonderful women's groups are doing in the channel. I think that the value they bring in terms of empowerment, in terms of coaching, in terms of mentoring, in terms of creating a safe space for women is very needed. But I feel like some folks in these spaces underestimate, or not underestimate's the wrong word, overestimate their power and influence. I know that's going to upset some of y'all. It's going to make some of y'all mad. It's just, here's the thing. It's just the numbers. It's just about the numbers. I understand intimately. Don't forget, I am a Black man first. I'm a guy that has been advocating for my people since I was a kid. Okay? It's on wax. Newspaper articles written about me when I was in high school, marching, all of this stuff. I did that and continue to do these things today. It is a numbers power dynamic. Here are the facts. 76% of people in technology sales are male. 24% are women. 76%. Now, if we go up to management and leadership, that number gets even smaller. Okay? So Why am I saying this to you? Because it is the numbers tell us that it is impossible for you to make the change, cultural change and impact that needs to be made by your own or through your groups. Just isn't. If there's 9 out of 10 executives are male, how does that happen? How does change happen without their advocacy, without them leaning into this? That is why it's so important that men like me speak up. That is why it is so important that I speak to men. I respect all you women. And while this is about you, it's not about you. Here's what I mean about that. Who I am talking to in my post, I am talking to the men. This is a man issue. This is a man problem. And we need to address it. Okay, so here's what you're going to say to me. You're going to say, well, Ronell, they're both men or women are going to say, well, there's women that, they're bad actors too. And what I'm going to say to you is, you're goddamn right. There are. But they are the anomaly. Just like men who are predators are the anomaly. What I seek to do is to not make decisions, not to try to force policy for the anomaly. What I seek to do is to give the majority a stronger voice and platform so the anomaly goes back into their caves. They understand that we will not accept this type of behavior. Not because I'm moral oral over here. Because it's bad for everything. It's a bad culture. It's bad for business. I don't care what level you're at. I don't care if you're an executive or you are an intern. It is bad for business. It's bad for the growth of this business. And it just makes you a shitty person on top of that. I have made strides in the conversations of DEI, because I talk about the business impact. And I think that's the direction that we need to go with this as well. Because as much as I'd like to think that people want to do and will do the right thing, they largely won't unless it's in their best interest. So we have to be able to communicate to them how it's in their best interest. And it's absolutely in their best interest, their best business interest, that this shit goes away. Whew, that was a lot, right? I'm not done. So I want people to be, I told you that people will fall into 3 categories: supportive, haters, cynical. You know the worst? Y'all guess what the worst is. Doom, 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 doom. I'm going to tell you the worst. Cynics. Because the cynics are the yeah, but. Oh, this is cool. Well, yeah, but. No, yeah, buts. Yeah, buts keep stuff from getting done. They get in the way of the work. You cannot, like I said before, you cannot choose to not do something because of the anomaly, because of the 10%, the 5%. No, you have to do the right thing for the masses. And this is the right thing for the masses. And so cynicism does not help. Lean in and do what you can do. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing what I can do. And it comes at a risk, but that's okay. Which brings me to my next point. So now I'm going to go over, after releasing it, what do I think? How effective is it? What have I learned? I've learned that people are afraid. People are afraid. And women should be afraid. Even the most powerful of you. I get it. Like I said, the numbers game. And I think that it's asking way too much for you to be the victim of a situation, to defend yourself, and then have to advocate for yourself and change policy. it can't happen without us, without men. But what I've learned is that a lot of you men are afraid of this. A lot of you good guys are afraid of this, because I tagged a lot of good guys and a lot of that I know to be good guys. And that's another thing. Let's talk about the tagging, because I know there's all this questions and people said about the tagging. Who do you tag? Why do you tag them? First of all, I tag all men. Some I know very well. Some I know like this, and some I don't know. And some I know to be, or I've heard to be questionable. Y'all be the judge. However, I want to know where people stand. That's part of the reason why I tag even some of those people. I want to know where you stand. And not only do I want to know, I want you all to know. So you look, see who engaged. And if you have friends that I tagged, or friends that you think are an ally, that you think are an advocate, bring them into the conversation. Let's see if they're willing to put themselves out there publicly. That's what I wanted to do. So it's more than just a pledge. Listen, this is a big deal. This is maybe one of the most taboo subjects, if not the most taboo subject in our channel. Anyone that is willing to publicly support this means a lot. And it does come with some sort of risk. All right. So anyway, that's one of the things I learned, is that a lot of people are afraid. It's not that they don't support, but they're afraid. But here's the thing, that does not mean that this movement is not successful. This does not mean that they will not advocate for you. Okay? The more we bring this into the consciousness, and led by men like myself, the more impact we have. And the more likely someone that's sitting in a room when you're not there might advocate for you. Or the next time that you're in a room, women with 10 dudes, and someone does something, says something or whatever, and you feel conflicted about defending yourself or anything like that, maybe that guy's in the room, and that guy, he steps up and he changes the temperature in the room. I'm that guy. Best believe. But I'm not the only one. So don't think because people aren't publicly saying something, although I want them to, that they are not there for you. What else did I learn? So I told you about the cynicism. Again, another thing, and this just touches on the overstating or overstating the value, or not value, the impact of groups. I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm a student of history. I know a lot about Black history. Many of y'all maybe remember Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the tragedy that happened there. Some of you may be aware of Wilmington, North Carolina. If you're not, research them. The point that I'm going to make is that we all look at the civil rights movement in the 60s and we see the success. You all see videos and you see pictures. And what do you see? You see Black people, you see Martin Luther King, and you're like, okay, Black people did it. Let me tell you something. We were doing that shit for 100 years before that. Okay. We established amazing communities like Tulsa, like Wilmington. And because of the power dynamic, and because, just calling it out what it is, the white men in power weren't feeling it. They destroyed those communities because they could. They hung people. They burned churches. They did everything they could because they could, because they had power. Didn't matter how educated we were, how organized we were. At the end of the day, there's power in numbers. Okay? So you look at the 60s and look at deep at those pictures, deep in those marches. Who was there? It wasn't just us. No, what changed is we had support. We had support by white men in power. That's just facts, numbers. Okay? That's how change happened. That is why this advocacy, this allyship is so important. It's just the numbers, from the sheer numbers of it. You need men who are influential and who are in leadership to step up and be public and say, I support. That's how you're going to get the important change that you want and that I want, that we all want in the culture. All right. Y'all were not expecting this. I'm sorry. There's a lot on my mind. What else did I miss? One other thing that I saw from women, I think that we all should try to be as empathetic as possible, not just with this subject, but with everything in life. You know, I think it makes us better people. I saw some vitriol, and I've heard this before from women when you see there are 95% of you women out there are doing your thing and you're professional. You are working twice as hard as others. I see it, man. But there is a percentage that you feel feeds into this problem. Do they exist? They do. But they're the anomaly. But let's think about even why they exist. Because I have to think about this as a Black man, right? Like, I'm a guy that steps out and I represent the culture. I advocate for the culture at risk. I'm willing to do that. But there are others that don't and won't. I could say, I do this. Why don't you do this? But I understand how difficult it is. I have empathy for them. I understand how difficult it is in the space, how difficult it is to be one of one. And they're not willing to take that risk. And they may accept things that I'm not going to accept. I don't like it, but I accept it with empathy. I would say the same thing with women. Yeah, there are women that feed into this. Women, again, they are the minority. But I think about, like, why? How did it start for them? You know? I think a little empathy will go a long way. Think about, a lot of our women that are more vocal in the space have decades of experience. They are powerful, they are mature, they are intelligent. But we all start young and immature and afraid. And so these younger women in the space, they can be afraid. They can start down that road because they're afraid of the consequences of not. And it starts with little stuff. So I would tell my more experienced women to think about what things you accept. I know, I'll be one of the guys and everything and be the cool girl, the cool woman that everybody's like, yeah, she's like one of the guys, I can say whatever sort of shit and everything around her. But think about this. What things do you allow to be said about you? Are you, for those that are leaders, are you helping the situation? Are you helping to create a culture where that younger woman can be respected for being a professional? Like, you may be cool with, guys saying this, that, and that, but like, does it help? I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be moral oral. I'm just helping. I want you guys to think maybe a little differently. I want to challenge thought. You being that cool girl where guys can be crude around and say crude things and be like one of the guys. Like me, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, as a man, I don't play the crude shit. I don't do it. I don't like, just because I'm my mother's son. I don't like crude women talk. I don't like, it's not me. So I don't like it. People don't talk like that around me. And it is what it is. And I'm a dude. So I would just say, like, women, leaders, is that something that's acceptable to you? Because so at the same time, while we're pointing the finger at some of these other women, perhaps in some ways, some of the things that you're okay with, does it help with evolving this culture? Said some of y'all gonna be upset some of the things I say, but this is my truth. I support y'all. I'm down with you. I'm putting my name on it. But I think it's just like when it comes to issues in the African American community, I can't hide from things. Like I can't hide from things that maybe I've contributed to or whatever. I have to accept it. Run to the truth, my friends. Truth shall set you free. All right, that was a lot. I know it was a lot. There's a lot in me. Let's see what's going on. Whew. All right. Man, this platform sucks, and it's not allowing me to see everything. So I'm hoping that. Oh God, this sucks. Hoping this is all resonating with y'all, because I can't see doggone comments. And I really want to. Oh no. Yep, comments aren't flowing through from LinkedIn. So let me see if I can kind of get onto this from another platform from my phone and see if I. So I really want to engage with y'all. But anybody wants to holler at me, y'all know where I'm at. But I'm not going anywhere. This subject isn't going anywhere for me. And oh my gosh, this looks weird. So I'm so sorry, y'all, but sometimes the technology just doesn't let me show you what I'm seeing right here. See that? Can't even the technology is tripping. And I so want to engage with you all on this. LinkedIn, what is going on? By the way, shout out to LinkedIn. I just signed my latest contract for my next course, and thank you all for the support on the course that is burning up LinkedIn Learning Platform right now on relationship centered sales. We're closing in on 4,000 students, and we are at a 4.8 approval. So that means crushing it. Anyone that's not liking it is just a hater. And so we got that going on. Anyway, the next course I am will be filming in July. Actually, I go to San Bernardino next week. Not San Bernardino, Santa Barbara. This next week this week. God dang, this week we're filming my course on active listening. Then in July we'll be filming the course on bridging the gap between marketing and sales. Woo, I can't wait for that one. And go to sayless.academy. That's my platform. We've got a couple of courses on there right now, and we're about to release sales fundamentals for entrepreneurs, which is going to crush it. I'm so proud of that content. Y'all going to love it. Oh yeah, use code SALEBETTER if you want to get a discount. Make sure you get all your teams on it and get my book. Come on. I'm sorry, y'all. I really want to talk to y'all and know what you're saying, but this doggone thing, oh my God. Yeah. It sucks. I don't know what to do. See that? White, blank. And then I go over to my other thing here. I'm trying to get on here. So bear with me for just a sec. See if I can get into the LinkedIn comments and everything, guys. But if not, know that I will address them later. But I really want to communicate with y'all live, if possible. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, okay. Maybe it's working. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's not working right, guys. So it's what it is. Said what I said. I said what I said. And some of y'all gonna be cool with it, some of y'all will not. But know that my intentions are good. So at the end of the day, that's how I judge people. That's how I judge people's actions. That's how I judge people in general, based upon intent. If I determine that the intent is good, then even if I don't agree, I rock with them. So I would ask that y'all think about what my intentions are in all this. Okay? Peace, love, and let's make a difference. Peace out.